Would you like to learn how to make the MpRib, our homage to the McRib?
Well, today on WTF, we're going to show you our copycat recipe to make the best McRib at home. Hello and welcome to WTF, where we transform food here in the Modernist Pantry Test Kitchen. I'm Chef Scott Guerin.
And I'm Janie Wang, one of the owners of Modernist Pantry. Here on WTF, every week we talk about unique ingredients and techniques and show you recipes for your kitchen. So remember to subscribe and get notified of our episodes, and of course stick around for our weekly giveaway. This week we are really excited because we're sharing with you the secret and of the technique and recipe behind how do you make a McRib. And because we don't want to get sued, we're going to call it the MpRib.
MpRib.
MpRib. All right. Maybe for people who, like myself, who've actually never had a McRib, can you talk about what is a McRib?
So, I mean, a lot of people have. There's a huge drive for people to go to the McDonald's and get that sandwich when it comes out, but it doesn't last forever. Mm-hmm. And why not be able to make one at home? So basically it's an emulsified sausage almost. And instead of having to go through the whole process of grinding and mixing and adding ingredients, we found an awesome ingredient that's going to do that in just about 30 seconds to a minute.
Wow.
In a food processor. So why not try to do it? It gives that perfect bounce, that texture that you're looking for, but also you can increase the barbecue flavor. You can use your favorite barbecue sauce. You can make your own buns. You can make it, elevate it a little bit at home. So in making this, we were kind of astonished at how fast and good sodium tripolyphosphate works.
All right.
So that's really the key to this.
All right. So it's not a rack of ribs. It's a rib-shaped
exactly what it has.
Of sausage.
Yeah, it is a formed patty.
Okay, well, let's see how easy it is, and if you want to time it at home, see if Scott can do it in under a minute.
Yeah, once it's all mixed in there, it's pretty much ready to go. So very simple. I'm going to add in about a quarter of our meat. You can use rib meat cut right off the bone. Found that kind of wasteful, so we went with shoulder.
Okay.
Pork shoulder. You can absolutely use the rib meat, but either one works because they have similar fat content.
All right, so it's the fat content that's important here.
Yeah, because you want to have that kind of really juicy, flavorful McRib or MpRib. And when we get to the sodium tripolyphosphate, that fat content and the the type of meat that you're using is really going to play a part in that. So I'm going to add in just our barbecue spice, which is an ingredient, or multiple ingredients that we've used in pulled pork and things like that. So that's just going to add in a little bit of flavor directly into the meat itself. So I'm just going to get this going quickly.
Okay. And why did you start with only a quarter, just to not keep it too full?
It's a lot of meat. So if I start with an entire kilo or 2.2 pounds of meat, it just gunks it up. And make sure you cut it up really fine, or else it's just going to stall out the machine. So that's just mixing up the first portion of it. Now I'm going to add in the sodium tripolyphosphate.
All right, and what is sodium tripolyphosphate?
Great question, right? So sodium tripolyphosphate is a false phosphate salt that alkalizes the meat slightly. And now that sounds kind of technical and kind of sciencey, but what that does is it allows the meat to hold on to moisture, right? It changes the proteins in just a slight way, so it holds on to the moisture and emulsifies really well, like extremely well. So well that I don't need to do this in a mixer or with a traditional sausage method. And it only takes about like 0.1 to 0.2%. So for a kilo, I'm using 2 grams.
Wow.
Right? So
that's really
it's awesome. It really is an amazing thing. So I'm just going to add in a little bit more that I've started this. I've made this enough times to know that if I don't chop up this meat really fine, these strands are going to wreak havoc. So.
Okay. All right. And as you're doing that, I see here that you have some that's already formed.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk a little bit about how you got to this shape?
Sure. Let me get in the rest of this. Oop.
Meat everywhere.
Too excited. Too excited, Janie. So you can see.
You saw it here first.
Without all the descriptions and whatnot, I'm going to give this one more blend. There we go. Once this hits about 15 seconds, we're all done. So now I have this beautifully emulsified MpRib. And if I wanted to, I could take this, form it into a patty, cook it. It's done. It's ready.
Wow.
That's the thing that's kind of amazing about this.
Okay.
Is we did take this route of trying to recreate the McRib shape, which is I spread it out a very thin layer, and then I pipe faux ribs on top of it with more of the meat, so you get that kind of wavy, you know, increased surface area, so you get more barbecue on there. But if you wanted to take this, make a patty, and cook it, it is ready 30 seconds in.
Okay.
So very easy to do. You can actually just leave that there. But that's all it is I spread it in between two pieces of parchment paper. Use a rolling pin just to make it nice and even.
Okay.
Pull it off, put some in a piping bag, make these fun little lines. So if you put them together, you can kind of see where they match.
Okay.
Right? And then I freeze it slightly just so I can cut it nice and evenly, peel off the paper, and they're ready to cook.
All right, if you want to see all those steps, this will be on this channel later this week on our YouTube shorts. So you can see that process start to finish.
Yeah, and the whole process of making the meat was literally we just did. It's kind of amazing. So
That is really easy.
we're gonna move this, and we can go right into cooking one of these and plating them up, and you can try your first ever
Okay.
McRib.
All right, we'll be right back.
All right, so we're reset up here, and we're basically just gonna cook our McRib, and you can try it. So I just have a pan. Get it nice and hot, add some oil. So you could grill these if you wanted to, but traditionally they're thrown onto a flat top. So
Okay.
the closest thing to a flat top at home is just a saute pan. Get it in there and allow it to crisp on both sides. Cook it to about 155 degrees internal temperature. If you don't have a thermometer, it's about 2 to 3 minutes per side.
Yeah, can they do anything they want with it? Can they bake it? Can they smoke it?
Yep. Yeah, if you wanted to, absolutely. If you wanted to smoke it, if you wanted to customize it in any way with the cooking technique, you could.
I don't want to like panko crust it and fry it.
It would probably be
deep fry
delicious.
it.
It'd probably be wonderful.
Well, which leads us to this week's giveaway. It's going to be a bag of the sodium tripolyphosphate, which is a new product to our catalog, so you'll be one of the first people to get your hands on it. In order to enter to win, just leave in the comments below something that you think you're going to make with it, because I feel like the possibilities here are pretty endless, and we're just scratching the surface.
Yep.
I mean, I would love to make like fish balls with these.
You can make fish balls,
Yeah.
fish meatballs. You can make chicken nuggets would probably be awesome, especially those. I mean, we're nostalgic towards that bouncy texture, right? So this gives you that really awesome nostalgic texture for all those types of things.
Yeah, so enter to win, and we look forward to hearing what you come up with. All right, so
Yes.
now you're cooking this, like, it looks
You're
pretty,
just frying
pretty
it.
easy, right?
It's super easy. It's
Okay.
It's one of the easier things that we've ever made here. It's blend it up, put it into a frying pan, and like I said, you could make it into a patty if you wanted to.
Okay.
If you didn't want to go through the hassle or you don't have a piping bag, do whatever you want with it. Buy whatever rolls you want, whatever barbecue sauce. Obviously, we're using ones that we've made because we like them, but you can do whatever you want. So.
Yeah, this is definitely
This
like
is
if
the
you
star.
are, if you are a McRib fanatic, this will be perfect for you because obviously we're using fresh ingredients here and making it fresh, so it's going to be, I'm going to guess, tastier than the McRib, which I'm going to have to try now next time it comes around. But then also, I think for people who are like, oh, can I batch this? Can I freeze it? Can I store it?
Yeah, so we've frozen it for a few weeks, and that emulsion stays really nice. And you pull them out when you want one. All you have to do is let it thaw, and you can. What I do is I cut it and I leave the paper on the bottom. I just pull it off at the end because it's super easy, but just ready to go when you want it. And you can cook it from frozen too. It just takes longer. So.
I love it. I mean, I'm excited to try this for sure.
Yeah, so we can just finish cooking this up, and then we can get it onto the bun.
Yeah.
All right, so this is just about ready to come out. Take it, allow some of that oil to drain off. You can put it right onto a bun. Here's where the magic happens.
That looks
barbecue
great.
sauce. So, like I said, you can use anything you want, but we have a barbecue sauce here that we love. So you can really load it up. Make sure it's in those pockets in between. So you're getting a lot of that barbecue flavor. You can even dunk this in the barbecue sauce. I just don't like to because it makes it kind of cold. So I just like to slather it on there.
That looks amazing.
Nice and healthy for you. Some pickles, classic garnish for the MpRib. Sliced sweet onion. Try to make it sound as fancy as possible. These are our potato rolls, just shaped a little differently. So soft. Right.
Ooh.
And then you can get that nice cross section. There we go.
Wow, that looks so good. And I can't get over how easy it is. I'm gonna take this little piece. You can have the big piece.
Okay, we're gonna do this simultaneous.
It is like, mine is like, all right, got sauce everywhere already. All right, let's taste it and see what the fuss is about. That's delicious.
I still haven't learned the art of a small bite, sorry.
I haven't learned the art of like eating gigantic sandwiches.
Wonderful.
It's absolutely delicious. I love the texture of it, but I like all that like bouncy force meat texture.
Yes. Yep.
So it's super delicious. Of course, we've been using some of the same barbecue recipes for a while, so we know they're great. You can get them on the block or use your own favorite one. So let us know what you're going to do with it, and we look forward to hearing from you. So from here in the Modernist Pantry Test Kitchen, I'm Janie Wang.
And I'm Scott Guerin.